Have you ever met anyone who turned out to be much nicer than you expected?
It's a sweet question.
Do you know what? And I know this is a bit, but I always expect everybody to be nice. So I never, you know, innocent until proved guilty, in my opinion. So no is the answer to that.
Oh, which fictional character is most like you? Me.
You.
Oh.
It's not for me to say, is it?
Cleopatra.
It's difficult, isn't it? Which fictional character is most like you?
It's Mr. Darcy in my case.
The Hound of the Baskervilles.
I go with theatre. Because once you're on that stage, the director can't stop you doing anything. You give the performance you always wanted to give before they started messing with you. And on film, they can give your performance where they want it.
Oh, yeah.
But having said that, I love working to a camera because that's in there. That knows if you're lying. You can tell all sorts of porkies on the stage and get away with it. You can convince people of all sorts of things. Things go wrong on the stage, and provided you don't show them it's gone wrong, nobody knows. But on a camera will pick out insincerity, lack of truth, lack of belief. So a camera is the most honest in many ways for that moment. But I love the freedom within certain restrictions of the theatre.
Absolutely. For me, the theatre is now. It is the instant moment. It is creating something in front of people's eyes, of an audience's eyes, that won't be the same next time round. It'll be subtly different, subtly. I mean, theatre is where I started, and theatre is, for me, the absolute number one place to be as an actor.
I love whatever I'm doing at the moment.
Yes.
That's the
truth.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can't really answer that.
Tom Baker had a wonderful word for acting. He called it celebrating. And the actor celebrates the moment that the character is in.
That's true.
And gives full vent to that, within restrictions, obviously.
Patrick Troughton had a better expression for theatre acting. Shouting in the evening.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Shouting in the evening.
Very good.
Why have you never done theatre, Patrick? Because I don't like shouting in public in the evening.
What was your favourite and least favourite subject at school and why? Well, I always used to like the arts classes, and I had a very good arts teacher who actually introduced me to theatre, not so much from the acting side of it, but every evening we would go and do the scene painting and the floor paintings. We'd finish school, go off and paint backdrops and things. So art was definitely it. Least favourite, perhaps unsurprisingly given where I've ended up, any sort of sport or PE.
Anyone else on that one?
Yes,
Favourite and
I'm
least
with you
favourite?
with the sport and the PE, and equally sort of maths and things. I can't now count anything beyond the number 9. Very difficult. But yes, my favourite was English. I like words, as perhaps some of you have discovered. But there we are.
Well, oh golly, I wasn't very good at school. I wasn't right at all. History. I loved history. I still do. History. And I think probably my worst was sums, maths. I once went into an algebra class, I suppose I was about 11, and at the end of it the teacher said, don't bother to come back again. I was that bad, and I never did.
My favourite was probably art and PE. We didn't have drama in my school. And my least favourite was Welsh, because I didn't like the Welsh teacher and he didn't like me.
Why didn't you like Welsh?
I speak Welsh fluently.
Why didn't you like it?
Well, because my mum also taught in the school, and he had a bit of a reputation of not liking any of the teachers' kids that worked in the school. But I did manage to borrow, you know them watches that you can sort of tune into your TV? I did borrow one of them at one point, and because he had this habit of always, because he was always part of the Drama Society, and he would always show us his shows on VHS, like as part of his class. So I had this thing that could fast forward through his video. So every now and then,
And he didn't know it was you.
no, he didn't know it. And then he's like, and then he eventually just gave up.
Oh, I love that.
Colin, least favourite.
What were your favourites?
Art and P.
What were my least favourites?
Art and P.
Correct. Art, because I was rubbish at it, and we had to draw a twig for the GCE. We did. What do you call it now? GCSE.
Yeah.
And
A twig?
I failed. A twig. Twig drawing. Useless. And PE, I was taught at a Catholic school by priests.
Oh.
And Father Coulthard, may he rot in hell. Father Coulthard was the priest who taught us PE. So you put at the end of the hall, you put one of these big pommel horses up, and then you go up and go, and jump off, right? Say, now, let's find somebody else to do it. And I knew what was going to happen. And he'd make a big pretense of thinking about it, and then he'd say, Baker, and everyone sniggered, because they knew what was going to happen. Baker went up and did his best, hurt himself, fell off, landed on his head, and he'd sigh heavily and then say, I can't remember his name, Bettany, I think it was called Bettany. Bettany. That's how not to do it, and that's how to do it every time. Every time. And until I was about 15, I was the shortest in the class. I was a very late grower. So he got this little bespectacled creature to be humiliated every day in PE. So I hated it.
But now you can laugh at him because you're awesome as heck.
Yeah.
Yes. Favourites. Lacrosse. I was lacrosse captain for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Art. Loved art. Still do. English, definitely. Probably English most of all. I used to love writing stories. And the literature that we were studying as well. I did A-level English and it was wonderful. Music. We had a wonderful music teacher. And my least favourites were, French at first, because we had a horrible teacher. It depends on the teacher, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And maths. I think I probably missed a lot of the lessons where the essentials were taught. And I think that that's something that's missing in looking at my son's education now. They just were taught in a completely different way. They were taught through stories and really creatively about numbers. And I just wasn't, and I didn't get it. And I think it frustrated me, although I did quite well in it at O-level. I think I would have loved to have done more and been taught in a more creative way.
Well,
And I didn't say what subjects I did like. I forgot, sorry. Languages. At A-level I did English, Latin, French and Greek for my A-levels, and I loved languages.